Welcome back to Cursed Mining, and today we'll finally finish a cooling experiment we've started some time ago. Today we'll add a second fan and check temperatures with push and pull configurations. We'll use the Antminer Z9 Mini for the experiment, but basically this counts for any machine with a free fan slot or you power your fan otherwise. One hint, also the Blackminer F1 FPGA has an Antminer control board, so depending on your temperatures this might also be interesting for you. The experiment started with our Noctua video in July, where we tried an industrial PPC fan as only Antminer fan, as well as do push and pull configurations with the original fan and the Noctua. And this was also not ideal because of different specs. So we got our second Antminer fan. This means it should have at least 2.7 ampere, and I tried to match the RPM of the front fan you have. In my case it's 6000 RPM, and that's the big difference from the Noctua experiment. It's two fans with these same specs. With the rubber fan mounts, also by Noctua, it's no problem to mount the fan without tinkering with the back cage. But here I also want to share some pictures of a colleague of mine who went a bit more extreme. He cut out a part of the cage to further the airflow with the fan. His project deserves a video on its own, actually achieving the full Noctua setup, but that's a topic for another time, and we'll talk more about alternatives in the end of the video. I want to try without extreme measures for now, seeing just what kind of difference we see with two fans. So I leave the backside intact. So bye bye warranty sticker, but I don't care. After some fiddling I got the cage like I wanted with the fan mounted. Now it's just back on with it. The metal was strangely bent even though the machine never ran too hot, but well, cheap metal. So let's compare. With only one fan, Z9 Mini as it is at its 750 MHz frequency is running around 70 degrees Celsius on the hottest chip, bit below that on average. When I take these readings for videos I always check on different times over a period of some days to have somewhat reliable numbers for you. With the second fan added as push and pull, we dropped our temperatures around 5 degrees on the hottest chips, 265C max. Removing the cage we could move a bit more air, but I'm fine with it for now. Please mind that this is still a very individual result. Your machine's temperature will be influenced by your whole room the most. With this setup, simply more air moves through it, but it will need to get the fresh air from somewhere, otherwise you won't see any change. Also mind that you'll have two sources of noise instead of one now. With one fan we were around 4200 RPM, with two fans both are around 3600 and the second one 3300 RPM. So is this worth it? Well, it depends. Normally I don't like temperatures beyond 70C, even though Antminers are said to hold out even more. So now we are steadily below that, even though not by so much. But still, if you're worried and want to bring down your temperatures, or you simply want to push your machine harder than before, then a second fan can help with cooling. It's okay and worth the investment for me to always stay below 70C. So we turned a small miner into a, well, normal looking miner. It reminds me a bit of InnoSilicon now. It probably won't stay that way in the long term though. Let's talk about that in a bit. So this video is just a short remedy for the failed push and pull configuration from last time. This is how you do it if you want to do it. Of course, again, this will largely depend on your room and there are other possibilities to cool your Antminer. Let's not talk about immersion or water cooling right now, but with air alone the possibilities are endless. I myself want to look more into boxed solutions, dampening the sound of the Antminer while making it easier to direct the air. Here again I want to talk a bit about the project of my colleague Konstantin. He managed to build a silent Noctua Z9 Mini by using fan simulators for the original fan. That allowed him to use whichever fans he wanted, and he chose Noctua first, powered directly from the wall. Built into a boxed setup with intake and exhaust, this can already be a very livable solution for the Antminer. Some people even went simpler and started with cutting holes into cold boxes and building shrouds for it. Tell me if you want to see more on projects like this, because I myself want to do more with the Antminers, because they are still the loudest machines here. That's already it. Payback for the Noctua video, a small drop in temperature and maybe some inspiration for you what to do with your Antminers. I'm really busy at the moment with building and rebuilding, so there is more content upcoming. I'm spoiling a bit here and there on the Cursed Mining Instagram page if you want to check it out. And also it's CES this week, so I'm really looking forward to what might be announced. Let's keep an eye open. Thank you very much for tuning in again. All the best to you, happy mining, and bye!